Hey everybody, and welcome back to Life with Lolo. It is time for our weekly recap of The Shy. This is season 4, episode 5, and it was titled The Spook Who Sat by the Door. Alright, y'all, before I jump into this recap review, if you are not already subscribed to my channel, please hit me with that subscribe button and hit the notification bell to be notified when I drop new videos. And if you end up liking this recap review, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button for me. Alright, y'all, so this episode was really good. It was really heavy, and it was for me, it was emotional. I don't know about for y'all, but it was real emotional for me. So let's just jump into it. So we see it opens up with Duda, and he's walking through this building or whatever, but he's walking through the back. So he's walking through the kitchen. The staff is like pushing garment carts or whatever through. So it's basically showing that they're getting ready for this big event that's fitting to happen the next day. So Duda walks through, and Jim and Daddy getting them together for like this practice run or something. He's telling them like, that's off cue, that's this, and you gotta come in with the speech or something like that. And he talking to Duda Boo thing. So Duda like, she good, she know her speech, whatever, move along. So Jim and Daddy like, all right, whatever. So Tracy, she got her new little wig on. I said, okay, Tracy, I see you, girl. Jim and Daddy, he getting the staff together, telling them the last time they had like a big event in that building or whatever, or in that arena, that it was in 1893. And he was like, and you know, back then we wasn't even invited into it. So this is a big monumental moment. We got all these black people working and we coming together as one, yada, yada, yada. So they do South Side as the best side. One guy was like, you don't get the F out of here with that shit. With that shit. So then they get to work. Tracy thanks Duda for allowing her and Trig to, you know, help with the community and stuff like that. And then she mentioned something about the girl who got killed on Bishop. And he was like, no, I ain't hear about that. She was like, oh, okay, but I'm sure you know who did it or whatever. He was like, yeah, you know, I had a pass and everybody got a pass or whatever. And I got into some things or whatever. She was like, gangster stuff or whatever, the way she said it. And he was like, yeah, I mean, everybody got a pass. Either you get on, or what do you say, deal with my past or get the fuck on. I said, oh God, okay, Duda, you had to talk like that. She was just looking like, I ain't got no panties on. That's how she was looking at him. Like she was not fazed. But anyway, can we see Kevin? He texting Gemma. So he texted her about his tux, and she like, oh, okay. And he was like, well, you want me to send you a picture so we can coordinate and stuff? And she was like, no, it's okay, I'm good. And so he like, I'm trying to make an impression on your daddy or something because it's a big deal or something. He was like, you not interested in my tux. She was like, because it's not a big deal. I don't think it's a big deal. He was like, well, your dad gonna think it's a big deal. She was like, he thinks everything is a big deal. So then Kevin ends up calling her. So then she answers the phone and he like, well, what you doing? She like, nothing, you know, just chilling or whatever. He was like, you want me to come over, keep you company or whatever? She was like, no, because my dad here and I don't really. Now, mind you, she talking to him the whole time she talking to him, she outside. So she outside on the corner. So she lying. She not even home. Her daddy, who knows where her daddy is, okay? Her daddy probably still down there getting the event together. But she telling him that she at home, her dad at home, and she don't want him to be knocking on the door every 5 minutes. So he was like, oh, okay. So then she was just like, all right. So she was like, I'll see you tomorrow. He was like, okay. Then he was like, I love you. And she was like, I love you. Like, no emotion, no nothing. So then he looking at the phone like, what the fuck? So she hang up. Child, she was outside with Jake the whole time. Jake was maybe like 2 or 3 feet down from her, and he like, you ready? She like, yeah. She got her bag, he got his bag. I'm like, what in the world? So Gemma is a whole, I ain't gonna call the girl a hoe, but she got some hoe tendencies, okay? That's all I'm saying. We see Jada and Dre, they meeting up to eat and stuff like that, and Jada is saying how she's real being, you know, self-reflecting and stuff like that. And she wrote out her will. And Dre like, girl, what you talking about? You wrote out your will. You not finna die or whatever like that. She was like, you know, we all gotta go or something. She was like, look, you need to stop talking like that. It's power in the tongue. She was like, yes, I know that. But, you know, I still got my will together and stuff. And I want you to be the bearer of my will so that people, they can respect my wishes or whatever. And Dre like, look, you not dying on me. Stop, talking like that or whatever. And so she was like, well, shouldn't you be having this discussion with Emmett? And she was like, look, you know my son. I can't have this discussion with him. So then Emmett comes over with some vegetables and stuff, telling her she need to eat healthy, and then he want to come over and cook some healthy meals and yada yada yada. Then she say, all right, I come, you can come over. So then she shoos him away, and then Dre was like, all right, I'll respect your wishes and be the bearer of your will, but you need to let me tell Nina so she can get on my back because she think I'm running around with one of these Instagram models or whatever. She was like, I'll let her know soon. Soon? No, girl, you need to be calling her up today, okay? And just tell her not to tell nobody, okay? Because, you messing up a happy home right there. And she was just like, all right, girl, well, you lucky I love you. No, she needs to tell Nina right now. And like somebody said in the comments last week, why didn't Jada just say, I told Emmett, now you could tell Emmett, I'm not Emmett, I told Emmett what's going on. Now, you could tell Nina or something of that nature. Like, you still holding a secret and you see it's messing up their relationship. Like, I don't like that. Then we see Jake and Gemma. So like I said, I don't know where they was going to, but they ended up stopping on like somebody's stoop or something like that. And Jake was like, look, you need to tell him. And she was like, I don't need to tell him nothing. And he was like, well, look, he might get on my nerves, but that's my brother. And I'm like, that's your brother? But you sleeping with his girl, not sleeping with, but you all up on his girl, like, what? So then she was like, look, I'm not telling him. He was like, how you want to save the world and do all this activism and stuff like that, but you can't tell your boyfriend that you want to be with me. So then she was like, well, that's two different things. I'm not telling him nothing. I can't do that right now or whatever. And then he was like, well, you need to tell him or I will. She was like, you ain't going to do shit. Like, I said, oh, she had a whole head roll and everything. So then he was just like, oh, okay. And then he walks off. So Dre, she come home. Soon as she walk in the door, Nina fussing. She like, look, Keisha need to go to the hospital. She need to have this baby in the hospital like a normal people. And Dre like, our people don't do good in hospitals and stuff like that. And she like, look, I can't have her in here like this. And then they going back and forth. She was like, look, but did you get the stuff the midwife asked you for? Yeah, I had to ride all the way this side and that side. The white people smell like burnt old incense. Something she said. I was cracking up. So then she was like, well, where are you coming from? And she was like, I was coming from the gym. The gym? She was like, yeah, that was one of our resolutions. Yeah, so why you ain't taking me? She was just like, babe, look, okay, I had a long day. I'm tired. I'm about to hit up and go to the shower, stuff like that. You want to join me? So Nina was like, I mean, yeah. So they hop in the shower together, child. Imani talking to Rashad. So he got an interview. She like, you ready for your interview? Like, she making small talk with him. You ready for your interview? He like, yeah, I'm ready or whatever. She was like, oh, you can't wear that shirt without no tie. So then he was like, well, I don't know how to tie no tie. So she tries to help him tie the tie. He get all indignant, all like that and stuff. So she was like, you know what? Fuck you, nigga. And so she walked off. So his old goofy ass, because he don't even know how to tie a tie, he over there struggling and stuff. And I'm like, you could just have her tie your tie, but instead you want to be ignorant. But okay, whatever. So then after Nina and Dre, they get out the shower and stuff. They ain't show us nothing, child. They just did a little break. But they must have had a good time in the shower because Nina all smiling and stuff like that. They got a little quick bow, chicky wow in the shower. That's a good place to do that. But anyway, they had a good old time. So she's smiling and stuff. And so so Nina go over to the bed or whatever. So Dre get a text. So I don't know if it was Jada who texted her or what. But Nina was kind of like trying to look over her shoulder and stuff. And she was like, well, who that? Who texted you? She was like, oh, nothing, baby. This is some work stuff or whatever like that. And then she got up in the bed and was asking for some lotion. But Nina was looking like, So I'm like, even if it was Jada texting her, why y'all friends? So why lie about that? Like, you can't even tell her that Jada would text you? Like, that don't even make no sense to me. But I don't know, child. We see Imani. She's standing in the doorway. She's smoking a cigarette. Trig comes home, and when Trig came in, she was like, look, I'm not going to say it again. That nigga, he got to go, or whatever. So Trig was like, what'd he do? So then he clocked my tea and wasn't happy about it. And what he not finna do is sit up in here, eat my food, live in my home, and be disrespectful. That's what he not finna do. So Trey was like, all right, I'll take care of it. I'll handle it. She was like, no, same way you handle that trap house or whatever. He was like, oh my God, is this what this about? No, this ain't what that about. What you not finna do is play me. You always talking about you gonna handle some shit. You need to handle it. So then they start fussing. Then they closed the doors. I said, Lord, this is just a lot of black love crumbling. I don't like it. I don't like it. So then we see Keisha. So Keisha in the house, she going through she was walking, then she came back, she went through the cabinet, she put out her little baby album and stuff, and she just sitting there looking at it, and then Nina comes up behind her, and Nina like, well, what you doing? She was like, I'm just looking at my baby album, and she was like, oh, okay, and then they was looking at it together and stuff, and so Keisha was like, I'm not gonna have one of these, am I? And she was like, I mean, not right now, no. And she was like, well, when am I gonna have one? And she was like, you'll have one soon or whatever. So I guess she, contemplating if she want to keep the baby or she don't want to keep the baby, because I guess she's thinking that she won't be able to have any more kids, but I don't really understand where she would have got that from, you know what I'm saying? Because, or maybe it's because she's scared to consummate or, be in a relationship because of what happened to her. That makes sense. So maybe that's what it is, other than her being afraid that she can't have kids. It's probably she afraid to get into a relationship with somebody like that because of what happened to her, because it was, So that's sad. We see Emmett. He comes over to Jada's house and stuff. Sway in the kitchen. He cooking pancakes. Emmett a damn fool. Talking about something, I can't eat no pancakes made by no man. So you don't eat out? Oh, okay. So Sway like, whatever, nigga. Here you go, baby. Here you go, your pancakes. So he gave Jada his pancakes, and then he gave her a little kissy kiss on the cheek, and then he go on. So, of course, Emmett, he mad about all that. He mad because Jada done told Sway before him, and Jada like, well, that's my partner. I had to, tell him he was going to be taking care of me or whatever like that. And so he was like, well, look, I brought you a juicer because they say people who drink this juice stuff, they be living long lives. So she was like, look, I'm sick. He was like, I know you sick. But I'm trying to save you or whatever. Child, it was so emotional. He was like, I'm trying to save you. And she was like, look, baby, that's not your job to save me or whatever. So then he started crying. He was saying like he couldn't lose her. I was like, oh my God. Then he was like, he was like, F them doctors or whatever. Cause she was like, well, the doctors caught it early and stuff and we get in treatment. And he was like, F them doctors. They don't know nothing. We need to be calling on Jesus and stuff. And so he was like, you want to pray? She was like, you pray? Like, what? When you start praying? He was like, yeah, I pray all the time. Every time after me and Tiff have sex, I pray that she won't get pregnant. I said, he a goddamn fool. He a fool. But he saying like he got his life, he finally getting his life right. And he want her to pretty much see the changes that he made. And he wants her to be proud of him. So I was just like, oh, Emmett, God damn, he is working this role, child. We see Keisha, she at work, she cleaning, and it looked like she was training or telling a new kid, the roles or whatever, telling him where to put stuff and telling him like, if we got stuff on the floor, if people ask about other stuff, this is all we got. So he was like, well, why you be going to the back all the time? She was like, so I can catch a break. He was like, well, next time you want to escape, let me know so I can escape with you. She was like, okay. So we see Rashad, he at his interview. He nervous and stuff, child. The man, he come in and he like, what's your name? He give him his name and stuff. He was like, oh, from Kiwi and Apple kids. And he was like, yeah, that's my uncle. He was like, oh, okay, yeah, I do them from the block, the union. Yeah, the union. So, they had a little rapport there and stuff like that. So he like, well, why you need this job? Well, man, I just need a job. I just need a job. I need some money. I work hard, and I think I could start from there to stock, and then work my way up the manager. He was like, okay. He was like, oh, here go my resume. So he looking, he like, So I said it must have been a wide ass gap there. So he was like, look, I know it's a wide gap from the last job I had was Radio Shack 2002. I said, damn, Radio Shack. I ain't heard that name in a minute. So he was like, but I can explain that, I got locked up on some bullshit. I said, interview over because you cussing. Like, what in the world? Who says stuff like that? But he was like, but I'm a changed man. And, I'm just trying to get my life back. I'm just trying to get my life back on track. So the dude was just like, oh, okay. He was like, look, I don't make the final decision, but I'm going to pass it on to my boss or whatever. And, we'll let him know. He was like, oh, but the jail, they give you incentives for hiring convicts. He was like, yeah, I know all about it, man. I know all about it. My uncle, he's still in jail. He's still locked up. So then he was like, I understand what you're going through. Have you ever been locked up? No, I ain't never been locked up. Well, then you don't understand what I'm going through. So then he got a whole attitude, child. He gets up, slams the door. Oh, goofy ass. He mad. I said, well, if he was going to give your information up the ladder, he ain't no mouth. Like, who does that? So he get all mad, Trick, like, so did it go well? Whatever. He was like, no, man, fuck this job, man. Fuck this job. Fuck that nigga. And then so Trick like, look, man, we need to talk. All right, can we talk over some hard liquor? He was like, yeah, man, of course. So then we see Keisha, she out back with the new employee and stuff, and he hands her some candy or whatever. And she do a little small talk, like, why you wanted to, work here and stuff. And he said he used to play ball, but then he had got scholarships and stuff, but then he got hurt. So then, of course, he couldn't go to school. And so she like, yeah, I know how that go. I had scholarships for track and stuff. He was like, yeah, I know. And so she was like, And he was like, yeah, it was all in the newspapers. And I'm sorry that happened to you or whatever. And she was like, yeah. He was like, but he glad that she survived it or whatever. So she was just like, me too. I said, oh, this is cute. But she was like, okay, escape over. We got to get back to work. So as she was walking, she was having like a contraction. But she thought it was a Braxton Hicks. So we see Jay, she going through it. She throwing up, Sway right by her side and stuff. And she started laughing. He like, babe, what you laughing for? This ain't funny. So she was like, well, when I envision my life at this moment, I definitely ain't envision this. And so he was like, yeah, but life has its way of surprising us and stuff. So she was like, well, you definitely wasn't surprised in my life. And he was like, well, I love you. So she was like, oh, okay, I didn't expect that. He was like, well, why you expect that? She was like, because I just ain't expect it. I just thank you for just being beside me and stuff. He was like, girl, you don't gotta thank me for doing what I'm supposed to do. And so they had hugged and kissed and stuff like that. I said, oh, this is so cute. At least one relationship ain't on the rocks. So then we see everybody getting ready for the party. So we see Jake, he getting ready. Imani, she getting cute. We see Kevin, he getting ready. So we see Duda, he arrives first to the party. We see Imani and Jake, they arrive. Not Jake. Kevin sees Jake, so Jake runs over to him and stuff. Duda doing press and photos and stuff. Then Duda goes over to talk to the children because they are representatives or something he called them. Delegate? No, that's not what he called them. I forgot what he called them. But they there to, show like Chicago kids good things about Chicago and how the community helping them and yada, yada, yada. So he made like some little corny jokes about don't eat up all the appetizers. Oh, okay. Y'all can eat all the appetizers. I said, Duda, go on. Go, Duda, go. So Jake like, man, F that dude. So Gemma and Jake, they walk off together. Mind you, Kevin was there. So Kevin looking like, I said, they ain't even trying to hide their whole romance. They not hiding it that well at all, okay? Because, child. So we see Keisha. She in the store. She ringing up people. She having contractions back to back, child. And she just ringing people up. She going through it. She just like, all right, $28, $5. You really need these books, ma'am. Like, damn. So that reminded me of when I was pregnant with my last child. And I was cleaning up the house. And child just cleaning and having contractions all day, cleaning up, and ended up going to the hospital, 8 centimeters, child. And maybe like 10 minutes later, had that child. No dang epidural, no nothing. I was just like, but I was sympathizing with her because she was just like, oh, it's going to be $28. I think somebody said she need to clock out or something. I said, oh man. But anyway, we see Kevin. So Kevin walking around, then he finally walks up to Gemma. So she asked, are you having fun? He was like, no. So she was like, oh, okay, because it's not your scene or whatever. He was like, what's that supposed to mean? She was like, nothing. So Jake had walked away and walked over to this other young lady. So Gemma steady looking at Jake like who he talking? And I'm like, but your boyfriend standing right there. Like I said, they is not really high in their romance and really well. Like at all, period. Because she's steady looking at Jake, and then so Kevin peeps it. I thought this was funny. Because here go Kevin, thirsty. She was like, what? Huh? He was like, no, I thought you was thirsty, like you wanted something to drink. She's like, no. So then she walks over there to Jake, and of course Kevin looking. So he like. So then she like, I know what you're doing. He was like, what? You trying to make me jealous? And he was like, well, is it working? She was like, hell yeah, it is. I was just like, These two is a hot ass mess. So then we see Keisha. She finally at home. Dre on the phone. I guess she's talking to the midwife, telling her, she having contractions every 5 minutes. The last one was like 6 minutes apart, but now they coming every 5. They filling up the tub because she having a home birth or whatever. So Nina telling her to breathe and stuff. And the doula and it was a lady there. I think she was like a liaison between Keisha and Octavia or whatever, because they never said who she was, but they said the doula or the midwife was on the way. Keisha like, I can't do this or whatever. Nina like, we gotta go to the hospital. I said, girl, if you don't shut up, she was getting on my nerves. They already done settled on, not to say she was nervous, but damn, because she kept saying it over and over again. Like, can we go to the hospital like regular folks? We just need to go to the hospital. So Octavia nervous as hell. She reading off the birthing intentions. Well, we gotta be here for Keisha. And the whole time Nina like, we need to go to the hospital. Man, forget those birthing intentions. I was cracking up. But we at the party. So the party going on. Some lady, she in this red dress. She is up there singing, okay? Kev looking at Jake and Gemma because they all like linked in together, where Kevin is like alone. So instead of Gemma and Kevin being all like a coupled up, it was Jake and Gemma. So I'm like, So of course Kevin peeping it. Duda dancing with Mad Rose, and she said something about administration, and Duda was like, bitch, please. And so she said something about, well, I could serve you with divorce papers or whatever. And he was like, you threatening me? And she was like, what you think? I said, what's going on there? So then we see Keisha, she's still screaming. She in active labor. Nina keep pushing the hospital. The midwife finally arrives. And like I said, it was the midwife, some lady, Jade, Dre, Octavia, and Nina. So they was all there. And so Nina like, at these birthing intentions, like, we need to get her to the hospital. And midwife is like, look, come over here, sit down, be quiet. She like, this woman is in active labor, and it's time that we surround her and empower her. I felt like that moment right there was so strengthening. It was so like beautiful. Like all them melanated women just sitting around her, just like surrounding her and helping her birth this baby. It was beautiful. I enjoyed that. I was like, wow. They is really, yes. But anyway, we see Trig and Rashad. So they playing pool, and Rashad said something, and he was like, Trig was like, well, you like a bro to me or whatever. And he was like, I better be, because I did time for your ass. And Trig was like, no, you did time for yourself or whatever. He was like, no, because I could have snitched on you or whatever. He was like, well, I was the getaway driver. He was like, yeah, but I could have snitched on you or whatever. So Trig was like, all right, that's true. I said, who says that, first of all? Like, who says that? Like, Rashad got to go. So then Trig like, look, man, you got to move out soon. So Rashad, of course, he get mad or whatever like that. He was like, what, man? Why? He was like, look, you can't be beefing with Imani or whatever. He was like, you can't be beefing with my woman or my lady or something like that. Here go Rashad. That ain't no motherfucking lady. And Trig like, look, I want you out by the weekend. You put me out for that thing. He was like, look, that's my woman. She the woman of the house. And what you not finna do is disrespect me nor my motherfucking woman. So I want you gone, okay? Your ass got to go, okay? My woman says she uncomfortable with you in that motherfucking house. So therefore, you got to pack up and leave, okay? You're not disrespecting my woman. So then, he didn't say it all like that, but he said it in them words. I was like, Trig, you better stand up for your woman, okay? So, of course, Rashad mad or whatever, because then he asked him, was he gay or whatever? And Trig was like, nigga, that's a whole woman. That's my woman. And you not gonna disrespect my motherfucking woman. So then he was like, well, F you, man, or whatever, or F you, bitch. I said, and then he was all up in Trig's face. I said, Trig better than me, because I'd have smacked fire out to me. First of all, your breath stank, because you were drinking and shit. You look like you ain't brushed your teeth in 20 years, and now you all up in my face talking about F you, bitch, and then you call my one. Child, bye. He done got slapped. But Trig ain't slap him. He was like, I ain't finna use my gangsterness on him. I'm just gonna walk away. So he walked away and stuff like that. Of course, Rashad mad. So then we see Tracy on the stage. Her jumpsuit was cute on her, okay? Was hugging her and she looked good, okay? She giving her little speech and stuff. Jake not interested. So of course he walks off. Gemma walks off and follows him. She following Jake, talking about, son, can you wait for me, please? First of all, ain't nobody asked you to follow me. But anyway, Kevin comes in. He sees both the chairs empty. So now he like, some shit is going on. So then, of course, he goes to investigate. We see after Tracy gave her speech and stuff about how she won the Olympics and her son passing away and stuff like that, everybody started clapping. Of course, Mad Rose ain't clapped. She was, she gets on my nerves too. Jake, like, to Gemma, he ready to go home. This ain't his scene. The only reason why he there is because he got beat up by some cops and stuff. He don't belong here and stuff. And so then he goes at her like, why you can't tell your daddy about me? You don't want me on your arm and stuff because you can't tell your bougie ass daddy about me or whatever. And you and Kev look better together. And so she was like, Kevin approached me. That's the only reason why I went with him. And he was like, well, look, I don't chase bitches. Stop talking like that. And he was like, she was like, you want to go home or you want to get out of here or whatever. And he was like, yes. I said, So then we see Duda and Tracy. Well, Duda was standing there and somebody was like, it's time for your speech and stuff. So then Tracy was walking through. So she gave him a little kiss on the cheek and was like, good luck. So Gemma daddy peeps it all, right? But he looked kind of sad or worried. I said, was he trying to get after Tracy and she shut him down? I think so. But Kevin's still looking for Gemma and Jake or whatever. So he finally finds them, child. He sees Gemma and Jake getting blah, 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 blah. I said, oh, Lord. So, of course, he like, the fuck? So then he stepped back. So then when he stepped back, he made a noise. And then they recognized Kevin. So here go Gemma. Oh, shit. Or whatever. Kev, he heartbroken. He crying. He running through. The whole time Duda giving his speech. Shut, I don't know what Duda was talking about. But Kevin running and crying. Jake, what was it? Then it was like some scene where we see, because it was like no music, not music, it was just music playing and like you couldn't hear the words of the people and stuff like that. So like Duda was giving a speech, but you couldn't really hear what he was saying. And then like in between it was like Kevin running and crying. Then at one point Gemma and Jake was walking down this hallway holding hands like F his feelings. I said, what in the world, child? So then after Duda gives his speech, of course Rose, that's my man. So then Tracy, she go over to the bar. Imani already, over there. So she walk up to her and was just like, oh, well, I'm surprised you didn't talk about the people at the trap house. Here goes Tracy. I ain't have enough time. They only give us limited time for the speeches. I said, girl, if you really wanted to talk about it, you would have talked about it. So Jay come over to Imani and was like, can we leave? And so she was like, yeah, let's get the fuck up out of here. So then they go. Duda walk up to the bar. He tells Tracy they make a great team together, and then he tells her that he hit it up to the roof and he wants her to meet him up there or whatever like that. And so she was like, okay, I'm gonna go shake a couple more hands and then I'll meet you up there. Child, Gemma daddy, he come up and tell Duda to be careful. So Duda like, I'm grown. And he was like, yeah, but you also a man. And he was like, yeah, I don't need your, he said something like, I don't need you to tell me what to do. Or I don't need you or some shit like that. And he was like, but you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me. So Duda said something. I couldn't really make it out because the music was loud and I didn't really feel like rewinding it. But Duda said something like, I don't need you or some shit slick. It was some slick shit. Because you know how Duda, he gangster, okay? So all I knew, I was like, child, this is like Ghost when he was saying, I don't need y'all. Like, he was doing his famous last words. I was like, Lord, Duda finna die. So then we see Kevin. He tripping hard outside, child. Tripping. He gets up in the Uber and goes off. Who knows where he finna go? I'm sure it's not home. We see Darnell. He come over to Emmett. Emmett, you know, he is grief stricken, okay? Because he think Jada finna die and all this other stuff. So Darnell, you know, he's trying to talk to him, and he was like, well, what you been up to? He was like, I wanted to see my mom or whatever. He was like, well, how's she doing? Did she ask about me? No, she ain't asked about you. He was like, oh, I was just checking. Oh, now you want to check on her? He was like, what's going on? So then Emmett like, Darnell, just get out, just leave. So he goes upstairs to go in the bathroom. He's crying and stuff. And Darnell like, I'm not leaving until you tell me something. I said, oh, look at Darnell finally being the daddy. Go ahead. And so Emmett comes out and then he just cries, child. Just cries. Say, she's sick. I can't lose my mama. I can't. I said, oh, God, Emmett. I just wanted to give him a hug. So Darnell, he finally gave him a hug and stuff. Because at first he was like, should I pass you back? Because he act like he didn't know what he wanted to do. We see Keisha, she's still in labor, child. Her circle still surrounding her and blessing her and stuff. It's time. She delivered a baby. And then that lady, the one I said may have been the liaison between her and Octavia, because they put the baby on her chest. And I said, oh my God, that is such a beautiful moment. It was a beautiful picture of her in the pool. And then the baby just laying on her bare chest. So I think she had a sports bra on, but y'all know what I'm saying. And so then they took the baby, the lady took the baby and wrapped the baby up in a blanket and then passed the baby on to Octavia. So that's why I think she was like the liaison between like a mutual, a neutral party or whatever. And so Octavia just took the baby and just started crying. I was just like, oh my God, this is just so heavy. And then on the roof, Duda up there waiting to bow Chicky Wow Tracy up there on the roof, child. But it ain't Tracy. Well, I hope it wasn't Tracy because the person had a gun. And the person ain't saying nothing or whatever. And Duda was looking like, the fuck? And then next, bow. One bullet, Duda fell in the gut. And I said, is his gut? Why is his gut posted? Because at first I thought it was like his heart or something. I was like, what is that his heart? But then we showed it was his gut. It was just like pulsating and stuff. So I said they didn't hit a major artery and Duda finna die. But that was the episode, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all felt about it down there in them comments. If y'all ended up liking this recap review, go ahead and hit me with that thumbs up button. And like I said, if you are not subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to be notified when I drop new videos. All right, y'all, my phone finna die, so peace.